Welcome back to Alex Exploring for another episode. My name is Alex, as always. I am here in Groveport, Ohio for a revisit of all the Ohio historical markers here in Groveport. We are here at the Groveport Log House, which is our first Ohio historical marker here. Let's get started. So this log house is on the National Register of Historic Places. It's right next to Groveport Cemetery. And right here is where we will find our first historical marker, Groveport Log House. Built on Main Street, circa 1815, this two-story log residence was later sited. In 1974, during new post office site preparation, the log structure was discovered and moved to present location along Ohio and Erie Canal route. An adjoining Groveport Cemetery, a monument honors local resident John S. Rarey, lived from 1828 to 1866, internationally known horse trainer and owner of famous horse Cruiser. This is Ohio Historical Marker 1125. It was placed here in 1984. It's the same on both sides. Right there is Sharp's Landing. And in our first video, there was another historical marker that was on this post. It wasn't an Ohio historical marker, but it was like a Franklin County or a Groveport one. It's no longer there. That was along the canal route. It's moved here as well with the Groveport Log House. So let's move on to our next marker here in historic Groveport, Ohio. All right, we're here in front of Groveport Middle School. I'm gonna keep the mic close because there are a lot of cars. Here at 1925, John Rarey and quote Cruiser. John S. Rarey, who lived from 1827 to 1866, born in Groveport, became internationally famous for his revolutionary horse taming methods based on his strong belief in kindness to animals. The principles of his training system were kindness, patience, and firmness. One of his greatest challenges was Cruiser, a horse that lived to be 23 years old, the wild-tempered stallion owned by Guy Carleton, Earl of Dorchester. After only 3 hours, Rarey tamed the dark bay horse and was promptly given the animal as a reward by the amazed Englishman. Cruiser was subsequently stabled in Groveport and remains a local legend to this day. Although Rarey carefully specified for the care of Cruiser in his will, the horse, lacking the special touch of his trainer, reverted to his untamed ways. See if there's a backside. It's the same as this. So make our way to our next stop. This is right at Groveport Middle School on Groveport Road. All right, we've made it. This is the Groveport Community Center and Senior Center. And Lock 22 is where we're headed to on this path that by all these baseball fields and whatnot. But it's on this trail in the back of the park. So we're going to take a nice little stroll here and make our way there. All right, we have made it to Lock 22. And this is the only remaining lock here in Groveport. If you've seen our lock form video, you'll know that lock 30 was down there. So there was 8 others in between here in Lockbourne. Let's go up and take a look at the Ohio historical marker, and we'll look more at this amazing canal lock left over. All right, so we're on top of the lock. In this park, where we find Ohio historical marker 9625, Ohio and Erie Canal, Lock 22. The Ohio and Erie Canal Lock 22, constructed from 1830 to 1831, is the only canal lock in Groveport. Constructed by W. H. Richardson as part of his 2,937 bid to build Section 52 of the canal, the sandstone lock is 117 feet long and 10 feet deep and has a 16-foot wide channel. Its purpose was to raise and lower canal boats to meet the changing terrain. The canal's presence helped fuel commercial and population growth in Groveport in the 19th century by providing a fast and reliable form of transportation to move people, goods, and services to and from the Ohio frontier. It was also a source of recreation as residents used its waters for fishing, rowboating, and ice skating. The canal basin at the western end of Lock 22 was a favorite spot for ice skating parties. So water would come up all the way here, bring boats through that way. Right down there, people would be ice skating in the winter time, froze over. But yeah, I for some reason I have an affinity for these canal locks for quite the historical, the really intense construction project this was, and it's just an incredible feat, and I can't believe that it's just standing here left over. So let's move on to our next marker here in Groveport, Ohio. All right, we have made it to our second to last Ohio historical marker here in Groveport, Ohio. This is marker 4025, Ohio and Erie Canal in Groveport. The Ohio and Erie Canal was Ohio's solution to the lack of reliable and fast transportation system to move goods to outside markets. The canal opened and then the then unplatted village of Groveport on September 25th, 1831, and contributed directly to Groveport's success as a center of commerce. W. H. Richardson built Lock 22, the only lock in Groveport, as part of his bid to build Section 52 of the canal. Lock 22, the last lock before a series of locks in Lockbourne, Ohio, that lowered the canal to the level of Big Walnut Creek, is 90 feet long and with a 15-foot wide lock channel. A variety of businesses clustered along the banks of the canal. In the mid-19th century, a canal boat yard and dry dock was operated in what is now Black Lake Park. Canal boats were built and repaired in this facility that was considered the first notable such operation on the canal below Baltimore, Ohio. You remember Baltimore, Ohio from our Fairfield County video. And on the backside here, it's about the Scioto Valley interurban. While Groveport flourished during the canal era, the town was removed from relative isolation with the introduction of the electric railroad operated by the Scioto Valley traction line. The tracks, which are embedded and visible in Blacklick Street, which we saw coming into this park, were part of a system that connected Groveport to Columbus and surrounding communities. The line was completed in 1904, and the first trip was made from Columbus to Canal Winchester. From Groveport, the trip to Canal Winchester only took 5 minutes as the car reached an amazing speed of 62 miles per hour. The interurban allowed residents to work, shop, or seek entertainment outside of Groveport. The interurban also brought new opportunities for diversified commercial interests and a steady population growth to Groveport. Passenger services on the interurban ceased in 1930 when automobiles and buses made the system obsolete. So that's the Ohio historical marker here at Blacklick Park. Let's take a photo for prosperity and make it to our last stop here in Groveport. All right, we're here at our last stop. Please make sure you like, subscribe, favorite, click that notification bell so that you can get more Ohio history videos from Alex Exploring. So here, let's check out our final Ohio historical marker in Groveport. All right, this is number 1825, placed in 1995. Titled Historic Groveport. Pioneers began to settle in the Groveport area around the year 1800. Subsequent growth was spurred by the opening of the Ohio and Erie Canal, and in 1847 the adjacent settlement of Rarey's Port and Wirt's Grove merged to form the village of Groveport. The canal, which crossed Main Street immediately east of this marker, declined in importance as a commercial lifeline with the local arrival in 1868 of the faster and more flexible railroad system. By 1900, boat traffic on the canal ceased entirely. Traces of the canal bed are still visible throughout the area. So right here at this intersection is where the canal crossed. So there you go. There's all the Ohio historical markers in Groveport, Ohio. Remember, history is in our backyard, so let's start exploring today. See you next time.